Okay, welcome back. I am going to tidy up some loose ends. The first is these enricher tubes. They are not pulling up like they should. And it is, I've got to take it off to see what's going on. These cables I don't think are good. So we are going to figure it out. So I do not think it's an issue with the slide inside because it is oiled up like crazy in there. Well, greased up. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to see, but there is tons of grease in there. So the slide is good. So we are going to replace these cables. This thing has to move incredibly easy. And if it does not move incredibly easy now, then we're going to have a problem down the road. The second thing is that I was missing some nuts here, which are like adjustment nuts. You can see right here how this thing is, the spring, this is the natural condition of it. So it was actually, there's no pressure on it, and it was actually jacked all the way up. So we know there's a problem with that one. And I have the electrical wiring harness laid out here, and we are going to, this was a professionally done wiring harness. It looks relatively correctly color coded. I have the headlight bucket here. I've already put the fuse panel in, and I'll show it to you. Again, it's not really that hard. And this one's pulled up all the way, so this looks good. We're still going to take it out. So I'm taking off the springs. So I took off the spring, the screw, and the plunger. And I'm doing the same for this one. So first you pull everything off. Okay, so I don't know why this is not. Yeah, I know these cables are. So I'm going to unscrew this end. I want to see where we're at. I'm taking these cables off. This cable right here is almost like stuck. So this cable is super hard to pull.
Audrey wants to.
Okay, so yeah, they pull very hard, and you don't want that. I mean, it can't pull hard. You see this one, it doesn't even pull through. So, I mean, it's super hard. So I've got some other ones we're going to use. So while we are here, we are going to, there is a set nut that needs to go on here. So let me go get that. So stand by. Okay, so I'm going to start by installing the This is actually a very unusual size. It's an M7 by 1.0 thread. And it's not the easiest nut to find. So, and I'm missing it on the throttle side over well, so we're gonna put it there. So the two cables that I have, pull very well. No issues with them pulling. So they just has to be super easy to pull because obviously you're using there's a spring mechanism on the plunger that provides the tension for pulling it back down. So it's really no big deal, but it's got to be, it's got to work. I mean, it's got to work here. So if it doesn't work well here, it's not going to work at all. And I want them to move to work well. So I'm going to throw oil down them too as well. So here is the, let's just put this over here. Let me throw some oil down them. Okay, there's like very little resistance. So okay, so let's get back to installing. So I'm not going to say that these are the easiest things to install because they're not, but they are not that hard. So I normally start by feeding this cable through this side. So I've got it here. So I then hook on the enricher to this side. So I've got that there. I'm going to take this cap off. So these fit through this cap here, and once I connect them on either side, I pull this through and I connect this side, and because the slide is going to turn. My hands are so greasy. Okay. So I'm moving these cables back because I know it's not stuck. Everything moves. So that feels good. No problems. And okay, so the next is to just screw this on. So okay, no issues going back and forth. I'm pulling the wire, going back and forth, no problem on that one. Try the other one. Same, no problem. Going back and forth. So it's very easy, very comfortable, very light. So we have that one done. The next one to do is I need to put the nut on here. So I'm going to see what type of tension we have. I may have to take it off the springs. And I am going to. So the next step is to I need to relieve the tension. So it is just easier to, as opposed to fighting it, trying to pull it through and sticking things up in the slides, like here. Well, I'm going to try it. Why not? I'm going to put a socket in there. Let me see if that gives us enough tension. Let's see if that gives us enough tension. And it does not. So it does not. So let's take the slides off. So let me take this off. And it may seem like I do things twice and thrice, and that's just the really out. I mean, I'd say that's kind of the reality of life. Sometimes you're going to fit things, you're going to dry fit things, and I do not mind going through and redoing things. So me going through and redoing this by just to put this one nut on, yeah, I don't mind doing it. It is, if you're going to do it, now is the time to do it, and it is going to take us probably under 5 minutes to do it. So it is not really a ordeal, and it is so it's just worth it to do it now. So I'm going to stick the cable back through, and hands a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go back, straighten that up, and we're going to put the first one through, and we are going to connect the spring up top in the slot. The cable does not go through the spring. We connect it to the top of the slide. We hook the spring. We place the spring on, we place the spring, let me lock the spring in. So it is on. Place it in the large side toward the engine. I'm going to secure this. There are some people that recommend placing or greasing up the top gasket, and I'm not opposed to that, and I normally do that. I do that like at the absolute positive end. I don't really do it right now. I'm going to install this enricher tube as well. So here's the cable for that one. It's right here. I'm going to put a covering on it. And I've got the install the spring, hook up the plunger, and so we are good right there. I'm going to install so it's fully extended. It gets pulled up, fully extended, pulled up, fully extended, pulled up. So it looks good. It is working. So that's what I want to see. And I will say this, I mean, I'm in Florida, so if I use the enricher, I'm using the enricher for like basically 5 seconds. It is, I normally don't have to use it. And it's, it makes a difference though. And so I'm going to test it out. It's opening, it's closing. It's opening, it's closing. So that's good. So we're good to go there. I'm going to bring it to the other side. If you see some wiring laying around here, it's because I've kind of been test fitting the wiring, and I've gone through it and it looks really insane. It looks great. It is crazy professional. I got to take this rubber covering off. And so really happy with it actually. So it is really going to make the installation of the wiring very easy because, like I said, it's color coded. It really looks good. And I'm going to, I mean, we literally could probably have this bike running in an hour. Which sounds really kind of crazy, but I have a spare front wheel assembly that I'm rebuilding, and so we're going to rebuild that on camera, and so we'll get that one ready. And so I'm going to install, I've already put the covering on. You really need this so the cable doesn't pop out. Install the spring. And install the plunger. And we're going to move the, I'm going to move the plunger handle to make sure this moves. Sucks it up. Good. Fully extended. Sucks up, fully extended. Sucks up, fully extended. Sucks it all the way up, fully extended. So we're good to go. And if you have to lean out, I got cut off there. So if I had to lean toward having them work and having them not work, I would prefer that they not work. And I would prefer that if they are stuck, that they are stuck in a closed position, because obviously you can ride the bike without them. You'll figure a way to get the thing started. And it is, so we have a little bit of adjustment to do here. I got to use the wrench on that. And because if it's stuck open, it's just going to be so rich, it's unbelievable. And you really don't want that in life. Okay, both of those are seated in there loosely, and that's really kind of what I want. And they're both lifting up. I like that. And if you will notice when I'm holding up the enricher, it is actually springing back. That is awesome, because you adjust the tension up here. So there's like a spring washer in here. There's a spring washer in here, so we'll tighten this up. But there's enough spring on the enricher tubes to pull it back, which is awesome. So I like that. Next, we need to put this back in. And so we connect the slide, attach the spring. And the face goes toward the engine. And I'm going to tighten this up. So, throttle works. Looks great. Both slides are going up. Neither carb has been adjusted, so that's fine. It is, so let me tighten this up right here. You see, I put this is like, I was just testing it out. This is that's the ground that goes in the middle. It goes in the, this center bolt is the ground, and that gets connected to it. I was just messing around with the wiring harness, but that's going to be started up in about 15 minutes. I'm going to install the breather box. Let me tighten this up right here, and we are then going to put the headlight bucket on. And here's the headlight bucket.